Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from ZozoStockWatch.com, and this is your stock watch list for the 11th of April, Wednesday. So let's go ahead and get right into it. After the bell, ALOG had some news out. It was actually a buyout of ALOG, but it was a take under. They got bought out for $84 a share, so the stock gapping down in after hours as the share price was at 96 on the close, but then the offer was for $84, so a take under there for ALOG, so the stock reflecting that in the after hours tonight as it moves down. Let's see if there was any other. API crude oil data came out. It was a build here. Crude oil inventories up plus 1.75 million. Gasoline plus 2 million. Distillates minus 3, and Cushing plus 1.5 million. So that's the API crude oil data that came out. Oil was up nicely today. Up over 3% for the day. So as you can see, as those numbers came out, the USO, which is the oil ETF, actually ticked up. XOIL, light sweet crude oil. I'll show you this on the daily chart. Nice pop in oil today. So getting, holding above that $62 and $60 a barrel. Now coming back up to that $66 range. Oil itself, light sweet crude, up over 3% for the day. So oil having a very good day, and a lot of oil stocks having a very good day today. And we'll look and see if there's any other news. VHC was up in the after hours tonight. Bloomberg reporting that a federal jury in Texas granted VHC a $502 million judgment ruling that Apple has been infringing on patents around communications security. The report states that Apple's FaceTime, VPN on demand, and iMessage infringe 4 patents. So that VHC moving up in the after hours. Apple ticking down a little bit, but holding the 173 area. So the verdict is for $502 million. Not sure if that's going to get paid out anytime soon, but they did win the verdict. So this is the 4th trial of VHC versus Apple. 4th win for VHC. This time the jury directed verdict of $502 million to VHC. Heavy coalition air traffic near Iraq and Syrian border, excuse me. And then Trump is considering firing Attorney General Rosenstein. That's courtesy of CNN, and this all courtesy from the trade exchange built for traders by traders. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the market action for today. SPY actually got a nice follow through day. Yesterday a little bit of an indecisive candle here as we were still doing that battle of the 200. Now look, we're not out of the woods yet. We still have a ways to go. We're still under the 50 SMA. But if you look here, my red line, the level here is 265.84, which is currently right where the 20 SMA is on the SPY. But a good day for the bulls. They did push us up. The Dow Jones itself held on to most of the gains. One point we were up over 500 points, but we closed up 428 points on the Dow Jones today. So DJ 30 having a nice day. After we got some good news from China. It seems like they're willing to bend a little bit, and Trump might be willing to bend a little bit on the tariffs. So the negotiations continue on. The Dow Jones was up nicely, still coming up against this trend line here. All right, so this resistance line and still under that 24,500 mark on the Dow Jones 30. Boeing turned back up today. Caterpillar also turned back up today. So these are the two that were having, being hit by that China tariff news and Trump tariff news. They were taking a little bit of a pullback there, and then Boeing reversed back up today. So the Dow looked good. Another sector that looked really good today was the IWM, the small caps, as they're trying to get back over and hold above the 20 SMA. Right now they're holding above the 50 SMA and over the 10 and the 5 moving averages you see here. So nice push up here for IWM, and then the IWC also back right at that 50 SMA, but still could not get above the 20 SMA, the red line you see here on the microcaps, the IWC. IBB, let's check that out. Coming out of this downward trend here. All right, and it's trying to push back up on the IBB, and then XBI, still below the 50 and the 20, but did hold around the 200 SMA the other day, and did get a follow-through day. So SPY looking a lot better, and the oil sector had a lot to do with it. Like I said, oil USO was up nicely today. A lot of stocks in the oil sector moved up nicely, and so we'll have a few of those on watch for tomorrow. We'll go ahead and get right into the watch list. Apple may be starting to make a turn here. We're holding above the 50 SMA. Now, even with that news in the after hours with VHC, I know $502 million. I don't know when VHC is going to get that money, but that's really, not that much money to a big company like Apple. Has over $200 billion in cash reserves, right? So for Apple, that's probably an interest payment per day, right? So Apple starting to turn the corner here, so keep Apple on watch. Could give a possible continuation move on Apple. Another small little oil stock that was getting some nice volume today, AAV in the oil sector. There'll be quite a few oils on watch. Now, it doesn't trade with a lot of volume during the day. You can see what a $700,000 stock looks like as far as volume, but possible swing trade in this name, AAV. Oil and gas name, did get some expanding volume here. Next one up we'll take a look at is ADVM. Starting to turn the corner here, a little bit light in the volume, but I like that it's trying to get back over the 20 SMA on ADVM, a biotech name. That might be interesting. AMD, if this ever gets back over the $10 spot on AMD, which would get it back over probably our 13 EMA, which is at about 10.08. So over, 10.05, 10.06 on AMD. Maybe we get a continuation move in the name there, maybe to play catch up to the other semis. AREX, 1.2 million shares came into the name. It came right up against the 200 SMA here on AREX. Not a favorite. I like them better if they're up, up above the 200 SMA. But another oil and gas sector play. ATRA, a biotech name. I believe this one got an upgrade today. Nice move here. 970,000 shares traded. Coming right up to the 50 SMA, which is at 40.24. So if this can get back over maybe $40.10, we might get a continuation move. ATRA. CNET. Looking good on the daily chart, holding above the 200. Nice pop today, expanding volume, 7.8 million shares. Maybe this one, if it can do like a red to green. We have the high here at 275, or we're a little bit away from that at 250. So if it gives me like a red to green setup, I'll have a CNET on watch. It is ticking up though in after hours here on CNET. So after hours, some bids coming in on CENET. Next one up we'll take a look at is CUR. Actually tried to trade this one today, just couldn't get that push up over 205. So I'll have this one on watch again for tomorrow. We got that nice expanding volume here on CUR, so see if this wants to make a move. It is trying to get back above the 200 SMA here. So that one will be on watch. GSAT, GSAT, telecom services now. Sprint and TMUS are supposedly in talks again. So big pops in TMUS and Sprint. So, once you start hearing that some companies are talking about takeover and whatnot, GSAT got a nice pop, 7.8 million shares. Now, it is an under $1 stock, so just be aware of that on GSAT. FTR, Frontier Communications, also 4 million shares came into this name today on that news that Sprint and TMUS were in talks. So then other companies start moving up in sympathy to them. CTL, one that we traded in the room today, we got a small trade out of this CTL, also turning the corner here. Telecom services, so CTL might be another one that you want to watch. If it can get back over the highs today of 1780, then maybe it breaks out over that 18 area. Telecommunications services. Another stock that we'll have on watch tomorrow, KONE. We actually traded this one in the room over this 925 spot. Gave us a nice pop up there on KONE. So we'll see if this one wants to set up maybe like a red to green type of intraday move on KONE. So that'll be on watch. Microsoft looking a lot better, getting back over the 50 SMA on Microsoft. So this will be on watch, maybe a possible swing trade in Microsoft. Another one I'll be watching is Intel, also turning the corner here. Now, we traded Intel the other day, and we got this nice pop up here on Intel. Today it took out the highs of yesterday, and we're at 51.27. So if we can get like over 51.50, another possible swing trade in Intel here. So we'll have that one on watch. Also on watch for tomorrow. Now, full disclosure, we're already in Twitter. All right, we got in it today, but I like it if it can take out, that 30 spot again on TWTR. Nice move up. We got in Twitter today over this 2865 area right here, and the stock proceeded to move up to 3025 on TWTR. So nice move there on Twitter. So we're holding some shares that we got from, basically it's a day trade that became a swing trade since we have such a good cushion. Now we got in here, we paid ourselves as the stock moved up, and now we have some swing trade shares that we're trying to hold. So Twitter, maybe if it can break out over that 30 spot, maybe we'll get a continuation run. And it looks like maybe the worst is over for Facebook. We traded this one today. We got a nice move up in Facebook. And then when Mark Zuckerberg was talking in front of Congress, the stock was actually moving up. He was doing pretty well during the hearings there on Facebook, and he gets to do it all over again tomorrow for Facebook for Mark Zuckerberg. So, maybe Twitter will push up with Facebook tomorrow. Another small oil name that I'll have on watch, SN, Sanchez Energy, 4.7 million shares, pushing up today over the 50 SMA, starting to get that turn. CHK, also starting to get back over the 50 SMA. So keep an eye on CHK, another oil and gas name. Neuro gave a pop today. Now, it had 1.2 million shares. It popped up to about the 200 SMA. It looks more like it was a pump. But I think this one actually had news. I remember seeing news. I can't remember what it is at this hour, but it had some news, and it did pop it up. So we'll see if there's any kind of setup in NURO. SMRT, breaking out of this wedge here on SMRT. Steinmart, I guess. Yeah, Steinmart apparel stores. Not familiar with their stores, but volume 2.7 million, moving up. Has that $1.75 right up above on SMRT. It gave a nice pop back in the 15th, on the 15th of March. So maybe could get a continuation move in SMRT. VHC, since they won that announcement against Apple, maybe VHC might yield a trade. 1.1 million shares came into it, and then, like I said, after hours they got that win of $502 million. So maybe this one will be in play tomorrow. We'll have to see. V-Ray, a nice move up here off of support. All right, so V-Ray, nice pop, expanding volume, 987,000. So we're right up against this 200 SMA on V-Ray. It had a high today of 729. All right, so that's some stocks. Let me see if there was any others that I wanted to go through. Maybe Mylan. You can keep an eye on MYL. Had a high today, getting over the 50 SMA. Also a high of 41.94, closed at 41.52. Would have liked it if it closed more near the highs, but if it can get over 42, maybe you get a continuation in Mylan, MYL, 5.8 million shares. And just take a look at Teva. Yeah, Teva's starting to turn the corner too, but still has a lot of work to do. Mylan looks much better as far as the chart. The other one that looks pretty good is NTNX. It's been holding the 10, starting to curl back up on NTNX, so that one might be one that you want to keep on watch. ZG, Zillow Group, also starting to turn the corner. Maybe a possible, swing trade developing in this one on ZG. Watch Talk and Market Watch for the 11th of April, Wednesday. Have a great night.